Unscripted.
This is going to be one of the best videos I've done in a long time, and if you can't tell by my excitement level, I am extremely thrilled with this. This once again proves that there is nothing quite like competition when it comes to video games, and when it comes to life, when it comes to anything. Competition is the key, and I think this is going to be some great stuff. Again, will you think it's great if it's, if you're an Xbox fan? Probably not, okay? Let's just be real here. Microsoft started a little something with buying Bethesda, and I think Sony has one-upped them if this turns out to be true. But I want to be very, very clear here that so far this is a rumor, quote-unquote, and should be taken with a grain of salt until these companies actually come out and confirm this stuff. There's no real way to know for sure if this is something that is happening or not. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. And, at the end of the day, I feel like that's probably going to work out very well for Sony. Look, you have these companies trying to gain your attention. They want to, they want to gain you as a consumer, right? That's what this is all about. Okay, they want to gain you as a consumer. They're trying to set themselves up for later on down the road. Okay, and obviously that's what Microsoft is doing. Clearly, this is what Sony wants to do. Sony and Microsoft are not doing things the exact same way, but they are still doing things in a certain way to kind of gain your trust, and they want you to be all buddy with them and things like that. Microsoft is like, hey, look, we bought Bethesda, and does that mean that all that stuff's going to be exclusive? I think that's a little less cut and dry. But when it comes to Sony, you better believe it. When they bought Insomniac Games, was there any belief or thought that that some of those games were going to come to Xbox? Heck no. In fact, a game that was exclusive to Xbox was Sunset Overdrive that went unbought by Xbox fans. That game could come back and be a PlayStation exclusive now. So again, that's how you do this kind of business. It's not anti-Xbox or anything like that. It's pro-PlayStation. And when you're a business and you have something and you have a piece of equipment that people are, that people are actually trying to send you, they want you to buy stuff for it, then you got to give them content for it. And that's the thing that I always try to stress about. Now, this sounds like it's going to be pretty huge, and I am absolutely excited to get into this. So why don't we go ahead and get started, shall we? What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please check, like, share, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. The reason being is YouTube doesn't really send out notifications very much for my channel anymore. So if you guys wouldn't mind helping out, liking the video helps out, sharing it helps out, subscribing helps out, anything you want to be. I feel like that's something that, I couldn't thank you guys enough for if you guys actually wanted to sort of help me out in that way. So thank you guys very much. Again, I really do appreciate it. And shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. You're fantastic, and I appreciate you as well. So thank you guys for always rocking out with me and just being cool people, and just that's what I love about doing YouTube. It's just a lot of fun. I get to talk about video games, which I'm very passionate about, and interact with some of the best fans in the world. So thank you guys very much. Now, okay, we know that Microsoft bought Bethesda Games. That's actually going to buy, that's actually getting ready to go ahead and happen. That's going to happen. There's nothing that's going to prevent that. So we know that's a pretty significant, although not exactly, horrible situation if you're a if you're a fan of those games or whatever. If you're a PlayStation only owner, I think you'll probably still be in pretty good shape. Like for me personally, the last Bethesda game I actually beat was Skyrim when it was actually first came out on the Xbox 360 all those years ago. And the reason being is it's not that they don't do okay games sometimes. It's just that a lot of their games are very buggy and, very much that same kind of thing. I hate the Fallout series. I can't stand it. I'm long on record as saying that. A lot of people think that just because Microsoft bought that company that it means that I dislike them now or whatever. No. The first Wolfenstein game, last generation, I thought was good. I didn't finish it. I never started the second one, even though I got it. The Evil Within, I started that, but I didn't like the borders. I know they fixed that later, but I never went back to it. Doom, I liked the gunplay. I thought the story was just garbage, but then I got lost and never went back to it. I never even bothered with the second Doom. So again, Fallout 76, same issue, like a lot of issues with that. Elder Scrolls Online, not really interested in an online role-playing game. So, again, these games, they don't really mean, and I have an Xbox if I really wanted to play them anyway. So for me, it really pretty much means nothing. The ones that I'm most interested in would be the newer ones that are coming out, and I can just pick those up on PlayStation or whatever because they're time PlayStation exclusive. Here's the thing, okay? It looks like, according to this rumor anyway, that Sony is working on a deal to buy Square. Okay, now before you get all kind of crazy with this kind of stuff and go, oh well, what's he talking about? Here's the thing. It's being reported that of course this has something to do with Final Fantasy VII Remake and why the last Final Fantasy that was announced was also announced as a PlayStation 5 exclusive. So here's the thing. Final Fantasy VII Remake PlayStation 5 is more substantial than a resolution increase. And this is something that actually I can link and you guys can check this out. So the Final Fantasy VII Remake PlayStation 5 version is going to be a substantial upgrade featuring new story content as well, according to a reliable source. On this person, Navtra, who correctly revealed information about Final Fantasy series in the past few months, revealed that the PlayStation 5 version of the role-playing game developed by Square Enix will be a more substantial upgrade than a simple resolution increase, but it will also feature new story content, and this new version of the game is also coming to PC, but apparently not on Xbox Series X and S. Here's what he said he last heard. It's releasing on PS5, PC, no Xbox, and it's a bit more substantial than a resolution increase. There's new story content as well, and he seems to know more about the new version of the game, but he's chosen not to divulge more since he knows what he knows might be outdated. He says the thing is, the port was supposed to be announced in the Future of Gaming event alongside Athea and Avengers Spider-Man. These announcements were spread out in the past few months, and only this port remains. 8 months have passed, and there's the possibility that the information might be outdated by now. That's why he chose not to talk about much of it on the port, just to confirm its existence. I guess there's also the possibility it might have been canceled, but I highly doubt that's the case. So while Square Enix has yet to announce a new version of the game, it's quite likely we're going to hear about more of it very soon, as yesterday co-director of it confirmed that new announcements will be made during the Remake Orchestra World Tour event this weekend. So again, what does this mean? This means that Sony has some kind of deal with Square, and they're kind of talking about this. Now, the whole idea behind this is that there's a lot of news leaking, and according to this, the definitive edition for the PlayStation 5 of Final Fantasy VII Remake, they're preparing to become a part of PlayStation Studios over the next 12 to 24 months. So this is something that is going to be very, very crucial to them. The next-gen upgrade for Final Fantasy VII Remake is incoming in the new year. Improved visuals, graphics, upgrade at FPS, possible solid-state drive, and DualSense use added to reduce load screens and things like that. So yeah, this is going to be some pretty interesting stuff happening if this all pans out. Again, if before anybody goes on the one side and goes, oh well, I don't think that's going to happen or whatever, I would just like to point out that if you look at Square's net worth, it's not as much as you would think, right? It's 1.26 billion. So again, and look at the games that they make. I mean, it would just be an absolute. Just imagine the stuff. You would have Tomb Raider back home with Sony, and you would have Final Fantasy back home with Sony, and you would just have all these stuff going back with Sony. You know what I mean? And I think that would be huge. And in my opinion, I think that it would be much bigger than, you know, you'd have Dragonheart. All this stuff is Square. Even Life is Strange, you know, would be, you know, Bravely Default. I'm just looking at this stuff right now. You know, this stuff would all be Sony exclusive. It looks like even like the Just Cause series, you know, and all those studios and things like that. That's, to me, would be a much bigger deal, in my opinion, than the Bethesda stuff. Because think about it this way: when I said, I did a video, and a lot of people throw this video up in my face, it was rumored that Sony might buy Bethesda a year, 2 years ago, and I did a video like, oh, console wars would be over if this happened, and people throw that up. Well, is the console wars over because Microsoft bought them? No. If you listen to the video, I'm saying, in addition to the top studios that Sony has, which is the Naughty Dogs of the world, Sony Santa Monica, you know, Insomniac Games, Sucker Punch, Polyphony Digital, they already have some of the best studios in the world. If you would have added what Bethesda had to that, boom, then it's game over. I think if you add what Square has to what Sony has, that's game over, right? Like, you can't compete with that. I will link what I can here. Let me know what you guys think, though, because I'm thinking this is pretty incredible, pretty tangible, you know, and I'm hoping that you guys are with it too, man, because this would be huge news and very exciting news. And this is why competition is really good. These companies, and I would much rather have a Sony buy this company than Amazon or Microsoft or something along those lines. But let me know what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe, rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.